Okay, so here is our SoFi position. We are currently long 17,000 shares at an average of $7.49. Currently unrealized $3,669. And in this video, I am going to share with you our high level thinking behind why we are in this position and why at these price levels we believe it is a compelling risk to reward entry point for what may happen into the future. So essentially, if you don't know, SoFi is trying to be a disruptive bank in the banking sector, and they are doing so by being a virtual bank and competing and attempting to take market share from these traditional banks like JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Morgan Stanley. So that is essentially what they're trying to do, which they have been achieving. But if you look at the actual reality and you compare the two, SoFi is a tiny fish within a sea of sharks, right? So right now, this stock is heavily focused by retail, and at $7, there will be no hedge funds who are participating in this particular stock. So our hopes is for them to continue to be a compelling business as they have been, and they are proving the model, and as they can provide the better customer service at a lower cost and still offer all of the products that regular banks do and even more, that just may attract more deposits, which in turn will make them more money. So for SoFi, if we zoom out, if we look at the technicals, you could see that, well, first of all, anytime we run up on strong earnings, there has been a huge sell-off. So this thing gets quite heavy on any pop. Literally, if you were shorting this stock, you would likely be making a lot more money if you were actually shorting the pops. But eventually, in my opinion, Wall Street will see SoFi differently. And when that does happen, then you would want to be in beforehand. So I believe we are getting close to that point for reasons of looking at the chart and looking at the macro outlook. If we start to see rates come down, which as much as I think we can see sticky inflation, the data is pointing towards the Fed doing their job, which will definitely improve a lot of these small caps and mid caps such as SoFi. So if we zoom out here, essentially taking a look at the big picture, after the SPAC, we sold off very, very heavy and we are starting to base out. So SoFi is a clear player in the banking sector. People know of them. They are out there and they continue to grow. So looking at the chart, we are starting to find somewhat of a base and we are holding our previous levels. And not only that, we are starting to form a descending triangle, which if we do break out after this compression in price, we may have potential to break up to $12 and even up to $15 would be our final targets. And if we are wrong, a good level that you can risk would be below 6, right? So the way that I've been watching SoFi trade is, since there's so much retail and it's quite a crowded trade, I don't think it won't work because it's crowded, but I think we might have to see somewhat of a shakeout or a flush before we see a move higher. So if prices continue to stay heavy here, maybe we break below 650, where we will quickly reclaim and start to break out higher. That would be an optimal scenario, as we would see a shakeout of all the longs who have been holding this for years, hoping for this to get up to $15, and then a move higher, where they are not participated in, and maybe they have to chase this one higher. So essentially, that's our SoFi position. It's quite a volatile stock for what it is, so you have to size into this accordingly. But we do believe in SoFi, and it is a compelling company, which if it does work, which I'm rooting for it, despite it being an underdog right now, we may have a outsized risk to reward scenario, which may be worth being exposed to. So this is SoFi. This is our trade plan. Hopefully, looking back at this video, say 7 to 12 months from now, we're trading higher. Maybe the S&P ran, maybe it's come down and the Fed had to cut rates because we saw not only inflation come up, but if we saw asset prices come down quite drastically, I think the Fed would have to step in. But that's besides the point. That's another video for another time. This is our SoFi setup. I hope you enjoyed. If you found any value, please subscribe and like. And if you have any arguments or want to play devil's advocate or want to point out any factors that can push prices up or down, please share them below. I would love to hear everybody's opinion on this, and basically bounce some ideas back and forth off one another. So thanks for watching.